Flash flooding a possibility this evening as heavy rains pound much of central and eastern Kentucky. I'm tracking it all coming up.
Tornadoes in Texas hit close to home for a central Kentucky woman. She says her family now has a lot of damage to clean up.
A new state law will soon take effect that will expand who will be able to get protective orders in cases of domestic violence.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening. Right now we're tracking another round of heavy rain moving through the bluegrass, and a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day continues.
With even more rain falling tonight, flooding is still a concern around Kentucky. This is what the Licking River looks like in Nicholas County, and as you can see, the water is high. We begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey. Chris?
Guys, I don't have to tell you, but it has been a very wet past week across the bluegrass state, to say the least. But just how wet have we been? On the tune in some areas of greater than 5 and 6 inches of rain over the past week, especially in the parts of central Kentucky. A lot more rain into the western half of Kentucky, where they're dealing with some flooding issues as of right now. Flash flood watch continues for all the counties in green through the evening. Defender radar network showing the back edge of this latest heavy round of rain across parts of the bluegrass region as of now. You got a few more hours of heavy rain showing up from Moorhead to Owingsville and down into Menifee County. Across parts of bluegrass country here into central Kentucky, we're seeing the back edge of the steady rains pressing through Versailles, and give it another half hour into Lexington and the steady rains will shut off for at least a little while. Still coming down though across most of the city. Nicholasville, Danville, back edge is just about into Boyle County. Richmond and Berea, heavy rain into southern Kentucky here as well. London, Corbin, and Williamsburg. But again, that back edge is heading in. How about far southeastern Kentucky? We've missed a lot of the heavy rain so far on the day. We're making up for it as of right now. Now let's jump back into western Kentucky. Another little band is trying to pop here to the southwest of Louisville. That will come rolling eastward in time. That future radar picking up on that next band of some showers and thunderstorms popping into central and eastern Kentucky as we go into the latter part of the evening. Local high water issues still a possibility as winds get very gusty over the next several hours as we gear up for a cold front that does bring a much better change to the bluegrass state. We'll track that with the hour-by-hour forecast in a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. A Harrison County woman says her family is lucky to be alive after a tornado damaged their home in Texas this weekend.
Her family lives in Rowlett, which is about 20 miles northeast of Dallas. The same tornado killed 8 people Saturday night in nearby Garland. The woman says she spent Saturday night frantically trying to get a hold of friends and family in that area. Sean Moody continues our First Alert weather team coverage.
I mean, it's terrible.
Rowlett, Texas is nearly 1,000 miles from Cynthiana, but for Adrienne Curry, it doesn't feel far at all.
I lived there for my entire childhood, and it was just heartbreaking to see and read about, especially when I'm so far away. I can't help.
She's lived here in Kentucky for a couple of years now, but she says all her friends and family are still there. When she heard what was happening that night, she immediately tried to get in touch with them.
As soon as I got done talking to my mom, I called my best friend, and I was like, "Are you okay?"
Her friends and family are okay, but some of their houses aren't.
It happened at night, so it was just kind of, you couldn't really see the damage done as bad as it was. And then when the daybreak, it's like everyone was sending me pictures, like roofs were ripped off and trees were through cars, and houses that were there weren't there. My aunt's house is gone. It's destroyed.
It's tough for Adrienne to see all this damage from so far away, but she's thankful people are stepping up to donate and help out the people who live there.
But people are helping, and that's awesome. It's the only thing I can ask for.
In Cynthiana, Sean Moody, WKYT.
And she said that donations are rolling in, but some of the people there are in need of baby formula. Stay on top of the weather and traffic with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download it for free in the app or Google Play Store.
Tonight, 3 men are battling serious injuries after police say a car driven by a suspected drunk driver hit them. Lexington police say the driver, 25-year-old Asil Iriola, didn't stop after the crash last night on Midland Avenue. They say the 3 men were on a sidewalk when the car hit them. Kristen Kennedy is tracking the investigation.
Asil Iriola appeared in court via video Monday afternoon. Officers say Sunday night the 25-year-old drove drunk, hit 3 men and left them.
It makes me heartsick, and I really do hope that the men survive and that whoever hit them, I'm thankful that they caught him, and I hope that he's prosecuted to the full extent.
Billy Mallory lives near Winchester Road and Midland Avenue, the intersection where the wreck happened. She worries about the 3 victims.
My mother was hit and killed by a car, so it does touch my heart because I know how that impacts family and friends.
UK hospital staff tell us one of the victims is in critical condition. The other 2 are fair.
The father of 2 of the victims tells us his sons, Clarence and William Hockaday, both need surgery. His oldest, Clarence, told him he was sore all over and that he has 1 broken leg. Hockaday says the other person with his sons, Michael Nipper, is not doing well.
Well, it has to be devastating. It has to be devastating for the men that were injured, for the people that cared about them.
Iraola will be back in court next week. In Lexington, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Iraola's bond is set at more than $23,000. The judge is confirming his immigration status before allowing his family to post bond. A man accused of causing a crash that killed 4 people and an unborn child in Clay County says he's not guilty. Jason Gibson was arraigned on murder, fetal homicide, and DUI charges this morning. Police say Gibson was driving under the influence on December 18th when his car crossed the center line and hit another car along the Hal Rogers Parkway. Judy Pennington Adams, her pregnant granddaughter Tiffany, Tiffany's son Kyson, and a family friend, Charlene Lewis, were all killed.
Domestic violence victim advocates pushed for it for close to a decade. And now a new state law that goes into effect on New Year's could offer some help. The new law closes a gap in coverage, so to speak, when it comes to emergency protective orders. WKYT's Miranda Combs explains in a story that's new at 6.
The crime scene pictures are more than 6 years old, but it's one of the most high-profile cases of domestic violence Kentucky has seen. Amanda Ross gunned down by former state legislator Steve Nunn. Ross had an emergency protective order, or EPO, against Nunn. It would prove to be of little help, though. However, its idea to give immediate protection is a safeguard for many, and now a new bill will allow it to help even more.
We've been talking about it as a coalition, as advocates for many, many years.
Darlene Thomas runs Greenhouse 17, a domestic violence shelter where thousands are protected and learn to move on past their past.
It's situational. Domestic violence does not discriminate. It doesn't care if you're married or have a child in common.
And that's the reason for the almost decade-long push for protection for dating partners.
It was a gap. It was a gap in service that those of us in this field had very little recourse except for criminal charges.
The law up until January 1 of 2016 has allowed for EPOs only if a person is married to the other, lives with the other person, or has a child in common. Violence suffered in a dating relationship was not covered.
They need something immediate that would protect them. And we didn't have access to that till now.
This is key. This is crucial.
State Senator Whitney Westerfield co-authored House Bill 8.
It still took too daggone long, but I'm thankful for it and proud of it.
Westerfield says the bill brings Kentucky up to date with most other states on creating protections for people in dating relationships. Instead of an EPO, they will be IPOs, interpersonal protective orders. Westerfield says this addition has come up in about 9 past legislative sessions.
And in 2015, we finally pulled it off.
The bill was signed in early 2015, but won't be law until January 1st of 2016.
So it takes some time to make sure everybody's on the same page.
It's an important issue.
Fayette County District Court Clerk Vincent Riggs has now been trained, along with his court judges, to handle the IPOs.
There's a list that the judges will look at to define if this person is or is not in a dating relationship.
Riggs doesn't believe the new law will crowd the courts with new orders. He says other states already doing this haven't had many problems.
We do expect some, but we don't expect it to be overwhelming. But we're prepared either way.
Interpersonal violence does not discriminate.
And those that have been pushing this for years?
We are ecstatic that it's been a long journey.
In Lexington, Miranda Combs, WKYT.
The new IPOs also cover stalking and sexual assault. The law goes into effect again on Friday.
Tonight, volunteers are still searching for a missing dog who disappeared after being rescued. They say the dog, named Harvey, ran off from Life House for Animals in Frankfort over the weekend. He's been spotted several times since then, but as Hillary Thornton tells us, volunteers say Harvey is scared of people.
A bowl of food now sits outside for Harvey. He has been missing for more than 24 hours. His kennel mate Ruggles aiding in the search, going out on walks in efforts to ease the scared dog, who they believe is hiding, back into safety.
He's been through a lot of changes lately. You know, his world has turned upside down. He doesn't understand or have any idea what's going on.
Harvey is one of more than 150 dogs taken by police from the property of the director for Homeward Bound Animal Rescue in Laurel County. On Saturday, he was rescued from the makeshift shelter for all of those dogs. Then at his new place to stay in Frankfort for only a few hours, Harvey slipped out of his harness.
But when he got outside, he just got in panic mode and did a Houdini act where he just kind of backed out, flipped out of his harness.
Volunteers like Jenny Neat with the Way Home Animal Alliance not letting the weather stop their search.
Towels to dry him off because he's bound to be wet, some treats, and I have a crate to put him in the back. It just takes one person being at the right place at the right time.
Hoping the dog, who has been rescued before,
it's your worst nightmare for a rescued dog to get away,
can once again be rescued. In Frankfort, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Volunteers are setting up some trail cameras around the shelter to see if they can find where Harvey is hiding. They ask if you see him to not chase after him. If you were planning to see Janet Jackson perform in Lexington next month, you'll need to make some other plans.
That's because the singer announced last week that she is postponing the upcoming dates of her Unbreakable tour because of surgery, and that includes a January 30th concert at Rupp Arena. If you have a ticket for that night, Rupp Arena leaders say you do have some options.
For some reason you're unable to attend on the new date, then you can get a refund from that ticket, and all you got to do is go back to your original point of purchase. If you bought it here at our ticket office, you come down here. If you bought it online, you go back online.
And at last check, there had not been a new date set for the Janet Jackson concert in Lexington.
Popeye's Chicken has returned to Lexington, and people are lining up for it. Popeye's opened its new restaurant on New Circle Road and Old Paris Road yesterday morning, and it didn't take long for traffic to start backing up around the restaurant and onto New Circle. At one point, the owner says there were about 100 cars in line for the drive-thru. People were waiting up to 2 hours.